let's take a look at the new bots. The first thing to point out is that the bots are getting Armada Scavenger, which was a bit weird because you look at the colours and you think, oh right, yeah, that's a combiner bot for Devastator. So it's a bit weird that we're getting Armada Scavenger as an Autobot. Then Armada Wheeljack has also got the Autobot sign, which is a bit weird. Does a cross for it mean it's Decepticon? I don't know. I'm not big Armada fans. Let me know in the chat. But let's take a look at the ability. So, as with most other warriors, you've got gains 80% health and 80% damage absorption for 10 seconds while slowly moving into combat. We just talked about sort of ratings, and you can see there that it sort of works the same as Slug and the same as Pipes, as most other warriors. For 6 seconds, every 1% health lost temporarily increases their special ability damage by 7.5%, up to 150%. That sounds a lot. After charging up, they strike the ground, dealing 3 times their total special ability damage in a small area. Now, when I did this, I thought, great, a warrior with damage. Something a bit different. 51,000 health, 400 DPS. It's not bad. It's okay. I don't mind it. And so, I think a big point of that is that we see for 6 seconds, every 1% health lost increases special ability damage by 7.5%. But it's a bit confusing because after they charge up, they strike the ground dealing 3 times their total special ability damage. So it's 7.5. Is it up to 450% then? It's a bit confusing, the ability of Monitor knowing what it actually does. So then we've got ability 11. Let's upgrade it to ability 11. It now reflects 10% damage back to attackers, while the ability damage absorption is active, and temporary special ability damage charging rate and maximum charge is also increased by 33% as well. Gonna drop Scavenger. So I said he's a warrior, but he seems to be doing quite a bit of damage from the sounds of it. So, but you want him to take damage so that he can do damage because he obviously has to charge up. So let's give him a go. So you see, I put lots of beam lasers, cannons, turrets around to try and increase as much as we can. So 4 plus 3 is not cheap but not expensive. So you can see here, look, damage in an area. So you see there, he's done enough to take the resource, the research building out, but not much damage. But let's do some damage over here. Let's just see, he's staying alive really well. Let's see if we can take these Spider-Mans out with damage. Not really, but let's send him a bit further and see if he can do some better damage if he goes further on. Because obviously the further he travels, the more damage he's taking. Taking loads of damage there. Damage there, you can see that he's doing about a third of a launcher damage. Let's go back to the cannon again. Try and take loads of damage. Taking loads of damage, like I said. How much damage to do to the cannon? And you see there, it's hard to touch the cannon really, and not done a big area of damage either. And it does average area damage. When we sort of look at, he sort of does about 2.5k damage in an area. That's what it sort of works out as, taking loads of damage. But when you sort of compare that to other warriors, so we look at Pipes. So Pipes does 4,000 acid damage in an area. So it doesn't do as much damage as Pipes, and Pipes is 3 plus 1. If you compare to Slug, Slug does 4,000 fire damage. Granted over 12 seconds, but does 4,000 fire damage for 3 plus 2. So you can see here that we've already got bots that are cheaper. We've already got bots doing more damage. So what makes this bot special? Because it doesn't do much damage wise. And then I thought to myself, we can easily compare him to what I would consider probably the king of damage in terms of warriors. And when we compare him to Grimlock, so let's do similar with Grimlock, see what we do here. So obviously he travels a bit faster, but he's got that shield and absorption like the other ones. Runs in faster, damage in an area. So you can see there, he's doing more damage than Scavenger is already. For 3 plus 2, runs in there to the cannon. Nearly takes out the Spider-Mans. Rush him up to the launcher there. Took about a quarter of the damage off Scavenger. See there, that launches down to half damage. Rush him down here, still staying alive. You can see there. And look, almost cleared that area. So Grimlock far, far, far outweighs what Scavenger is doing. So my big question is that when we sort of see this, and I'm going to quote something from playtest now. So they're trying to create a warrior just good damage in an area, but there was talk about the bot not being balanced right. If we remove the shield, we would instead give you a charge every 5% health lost instead of 1%. This is part of the balance and does not change how you are supposed to use this bot's ability. But if you remove the shield, you would charge in and die and have quite a lot of damage. But this is what worries me about the game, what they don't understand. Is that they're saying, listen, we can't give you a lot of damage and a shield as well. It's just too overpowered. But we've already got a bot in the game that does that. We've already got bots in the game that have decent damage and have the 80% shield and 80% absorption. So why can't you give this to the new bot? Because it's scared it's going to be overpowered? But you've already got it in the game. And this is my worry, that they have this sort of graph to go off, this sort of thing behind the scenes, and they go, oh, we can't give it that because that's going to be OP. But I wouldn't say Grimlock is OP. I wouldn't say Pipes is OP maybe, but, you know, but we're sort of creating new content around things that are already in the game and bringing them out not as good. We've already got a bot that does 5k damage in an area and has the health and absorption. So why not? That's my worry. Granted, we don't have the G1 core yet for Scavenger, but I don't think a G1 core is obviously going to double his damage or triple his damage overnight. It's not going to happen. And so sadly for this bot, I just feel like it's a bot to miss. I can't see him being part of a combiner or anything. Yeah, it's going to save you a 5-star pull, but it's not going to hit in your war team. If it's going to hit your war team, then my argument will be, why not get Grimlock? For newer players, maybe it's alright, but again, you've got Pipes, you've got Slug, you've got Ironhide. You've got so many better warriors. It goes so far down on the list. I would go as far as saying this new bot at the minute is the worst of the 80% health and absorption shield bots. I would maybe even put it down with below Jump Stream because she has 100%. I'd even put him behind Sideswipe as a 4-star. That's how poor I think it is. It's not just me being negative, it's just again, we've got something else in the game that is better. This bot should blow everything out of the water and go, listen, this is the best warrior in the game, or up there with them, or offer something different. If that's what they're going for shield and damage, it should do the best damage in the game with that same shield as everyone else has. And it's just falling very, very, very short of that right now. And sadly, we've only got a few days left because it is a bank holiday, and so we've got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And I feel like this bot is going to be balanced while people are going to be playing the game for it. People are going to be getting this bot, winning this bot, and they're still going to be balancing it over the weekend next week. I feel that's how it's going to go, this bot. That it's not going to be ready on time. But we'll have to wait and see. But hopefully the apes can, well, the Yodos can make some changes, make it a good bot, bring it up to speed with everything else, get this idea that they have to remove the shield if they increase the damage, and then see where we go from there.